Rapper Ravi, who was handed over for trial for trying to evade military service due to a fake epilepsy, and the agency strongly insisted on prescribing drugs, ignoring the doctor's opinion that there were no special symptoms. It turned out that he was trying to escape by force, as making demands. On day 3, according to the indictment of Ravi, co-represented by Group Link, Kim, and Nafla, filed by the Ministry of Justice by the Office of Congressman Yoon Suk-yeong, Ravi was diagnosed with bronchial asthma at the first military service physical examination in 2012. After receiving a grade-level active duty decision, he continued to postpone military service and was deemed to be in grade 4 at a re-examination in 2019. Subsequently, Ravi submitted a document stating that he would postpone his military service for the last time in February 2021. At that time, he submitted a written oath to the Military Human Resources Administration to the effect that I will faithfully comply with my enlistment date if notified in the future. It was at the time that Executive Director King of Ravi Agency met Gu Mo, a military service intermediary. While looking for a solution to Ravi and Nafla's military problem, Executive Director Kim met Mr. Gu and met with him. At this meeting, Mr. Gu suggested that Ravi could be exempted from Level 5 due to a false diagnosis of epilepsy, and that Nafla could be discharged early due to unsuitability for service due to worsening mental illness such as depression. Representative Kim agreed with Ravi and accepted Mr. Gu's proposal, and signed a contract immediately in March. The compensation was 50 million won. Mr. Gu also included a clause in the contract that says, if he is not exempted from military service, the full cost will be reimbursed. Ravi, who received a false epilepsy diagnosis scenario from Mr. Gu, complied faithfully after pretending to suddenly faint and calling 119. He arrived at the emergency room and requested outpatient care at a neurology department instead of hospitalization. At the outpatient clinic, Ravi lied to the doctor and told him, sometimes I faint 2 or 3 times a year, without even realizing it. In April of that year, Ravi and Seo Kim visited the hospital to hear the test result and receive a diagnosis from the attending physician that said, no special treatment or medication is needed, as the test results did not reveal any special symptoms. Seo Kim, who was embarrassed by the unexpected result and left the clinic, contacted Mr. Gu, and Mr. Gu instructed, ask for a prescription. If that happens again, mentally get out and your musical life will be over, or apply for a medical application. In response, Seo Kim returned to the doctor's office and asked the doctor to prescribe medication, and eventually got an opinion on drug treatment. Subsequently, Ravi, who was prescribed additional medication, received a medical certificate for military service indicating that he was suspected of having epilepsy and submitted a request for a change in military service to the Military Manpower Administration in June 2021. After receiving this fact from Seo Kim, Mr. Goose sent a text message that read, "Okay, exemption from military service." Subsequently, Ravi prepared for the urine test by taking epilepsy medication. The night before, the detailed physical examination, and the morning of the same day, he pretended as he really suffered from epilepsy by detecting an appropriate drug concentration in a urine test. In the end, Ravi was exempted from military service at the 5th level by the Military Manpower Administration in May last year. 2 months later, according to the Military Manpower Administration's ruling that there was an error in calculation on the drug prescription period. Ravi was tried as a 4th degree in September that year. A month later, in October that year, Ravi enlisted as a social worker. After receiving a grade 2 on his first physical in 2016, Nafla delayed his military service several times, and in October 2020, he was diagnosed with depression and panic disorder at grade 4. In February 2021, when Nafla could no longer postpone military service and had to enlist as a social worker at the Seocho-gu office, he applied for split service as a social worker, pretending that his depression had worsened according to Gu's advice. At that time, while meeting with the official in charge of Seocho-gu's office, Nafla made up as if serving was impossible, saying that his mental illness was so severe that he had suicidal thoughts. Nafla periodically visited the hospital and was prescribed medication, but the prosecution found that he did not actually take it at all. Subsequently, the person in charge of the Seoul Regional Military Human Resources Administration, an official of the Seocho-gu office, conspired to help Nafla be discharged early by manipulating the daily service situation as if he had worked normally, even though he had never been at the Seocho-gu office. The circumstances under which they participated in the crime were not specifically expressed in the indictment. However, the prosecution said they were judged to have committed the crime because of various circumstances, such as difficulty in handling social workers suffering from mental illness. On the 13th of March, the prosecution indicted Ravi and Executive Director Kim without arrest, an arrested official from the Military Personnel Office and the Office of Nafla, and Seocho-gu. Broker Gu, who helped Teng evade military service, is currently in the first trial. On the morning of April 11, esteemed the first trial of 9 people involved in the case, including Ravi and Nafla, was held in the 7th Criminal Division of the Seoul Southern District Court. On the same day, prosecutors asked that Ravi and Nafla to be sentenced to 2 years in prison and 2 years and 6 months in prison, respectively. Ravi has admitted to all charges and in his long closing argument said, "While undergoing trial until now, I desperately realized how great my fault was and how many people I had hurt. I apologize to the patients and their families. I will not forget this time for the rest of my life and live with the heart of atonement. Prior to controversy over military service evasion through pretending to be depressed, Nafla had a record of receiving a suspended indictment in 2019 for smoking marijuana. Although he expresses his will of reflection, he was once again brought to trial on cannabis charges in 2020, a stroke offender who was sentenced to 10 months in prison and 2 years probation.